and get this cooking. Actually, no. First, I'm gonna pour out some oil in here. I like to oil the pan, but I don't want my thing caked in that shit. There we go. So, I'll let some people come on, and then I'll get the show on the road. But I'm going to say this will be no longer than 20 minutes, maybe like 21, 22. I've got to get some shit ready though. Throw that in. Let's turn this down a little bit so I don't end up having this shit completely stick to the pan. I also need to do the onion as well, so I'll do that over here actually. This as well. But the way I see it, more than anything, maybe I need a bigger knife actually. This thing is a bit piddly. But hope everyone is keeping well at any rate. Let's grab that one. That'll be that. So yeah, I guess this is a live stream while I'm cooking my fucking tea as well. But yeah, I'll give it another 20 seconds, then we'll get the show on the road. But yes, there is a lot to talk about as far as recent events are concerned. So hope you're all buckled in, ready to go while I'm cutting the onions and hoping to Christ I don't cry my eyes out at this point. You're going to see a grown man fucking cry and there's nothing you can do about it. Anyway, enough chit chat. So, Keir the Traitor Starmer. Well, actually, no, we're going to start with Yvette Cooper first because she's made a little bit of an announcement saying she's now going to deport these illegals, but she's going to detain them first, then deport them. This is not the answer, Yvette Cooper. The answer is fuck the detainment, just deport them. Take out the trash, bluntly speaking. Because at the end of the day, they are illegals. And the ECHR has no right to interfere with this. Because it is in their own damn law that if they were truly asylum seekers, rather than fortune seekers, at best, they would claim asylum in the first safe EU country they get to. But a lot of them do not do this. A lot of them effectively come over from various countries, mostly from the Middle East, to basically claim free allowance, free housing, free benefits, a free phone credit, and basically do whatever the hell they want, because they're part of Keir the Traitor Starmer's new order at this point. Because he is thoroughly anti-British, the way I look at it. Thoroughly anti-British. I'll let that. But anyway, he is thoroughly anti-British. I hope you keep him. Yes, I am, Steve. It's nice to see you again. It's been a while since I spoke to you. I'm currently cooking my tea right now as well as doing this, but Keir the Traitor Starmer's already proven he is against the indigenous British people. He has proven categorically that he is more interested in protecting Islam, the death cult, than he is protecting his own people. And last time I checked, the Prime Minister's duties, as said before, is to protect the realm and all of its inhabitants, not just a small section of them. In fact, if you want to take this a step further, as far as Keir the Traitor Starmer is concerned, isn't it hate speech? Isn't it racism to protect one section of the community and not protect any other? Isn't that Muslim supremacy? If we really want to go that far? That's the way I look at it. I mean, let's face it, Islam is basically white supremacy, but for extremists of Islam. But nobody goes out of their way to call them far right, do they? Of course, the mainstream media aren't going to tell you that. But they are also being racist against black people. Because, obviously, they may have darkly tanned people, but a lot of these Islamists will end up going after black people or white, regardless, because they are seen as kafar, kafir, kafuffle, whatever you want to call them. Basically non-believers. And anybody who leaves Islam, aka apostasy, is punished with death. Now, this will be said to you, don't take my word for it, just check any nutter who is part of imams, who basically is fundamentally extreme in their views, tell them, what's the punishment for apostasy? And they will tell you it's death. And these are the people that Traitor Starmer want to protect. The same people who think it's okay to take white women as slaves. The same people that want to impose Sharia law and make it so women are second-class citizens. Hello, Paul. I hope you're doing all right today. The same people who effectively want to screw over the indigenous Brits or any person who isn't Islamic. Now, let's put this back on the heat. Unfortunately, you won't be able to see the final product of this one because I said I'm planning to make this stream no longer than like 21, 22 minutes. Since I have got some other plans, I'm going to be live streaming on Twitch, which anybody who can see me on Twitch, I have a Twitch channel under the same name as this one. I will be doing a little bit of co-op with one of my friends of mine. Lovely Scottish woman. Also makes lots of innuendos. So yeah, if you like that, or in my endos. So if you want to tune into that, you're more than welcome for that. And hey, the way I look at it, Paul, it costs nothing to be courteous. And I've said it before, I'll say it again, I am very strong on courtesy. Now, I know I've done a poor job of this. I've made a fucking mess everywhere. But just stick that in, get a little bit of salt and pepper, and I can get back to this. But anyway, Traitor Starmer, the way I look at it, he should be in jail right now. And not just over the crime of treachery, but for blatant racism against the ordinary Brit. At the end of the day, if he's choosing to side with one section of the community, and yes, I do accept that you can't be racist against a religion, you can be racist against, is people who are of a different colour of skin, people who are of stroke number one, of different nationality, if I can get it out right, and of course anybody who has basically got an imperfection that somebody sees as a problem. But of course the mainstream media won't tell you this. You know the drill, folks, because say it with me, it doesn't suit the narrative. I'm in COS this week, so sorry if I've missed your vids. I mean, it's fair enough. Everyone has their own life commitments. Don't apologise to me, Ted. It's called having a life. That's the way I look at it. But Keir should be locked up for this. And the media won't tell us this because they know damn well people like me are right. He is being unequivocally racist. He is unequivocally a fascist because he's denying parties like Britain First from going into places like Liverpool. He is a dictator. Or maybe I was right first time. Because he is effectively determining who is allowed to protest, who is not. Anybody has a problem with kids getting stabbed, apparently you're far right. Plasticine person who basically wants the genocide of Jews. Oh, Traitor Starmer's fine with that. The racist little cunt. Does anybody, like, I can't be the only one thinking this, can I? It doesn't suit the narrative. Yeah, that's what I mean. It doesn't suit their little narrative, their globalist little narrative of, oh, white man bad, Muslim man good. That's what they want. Here's something else on a side note, though, which I'm also going to bring up in a future video later down the line. I find it funny how the American media about Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. Isn't it funny how the mainstream media's coverage of this, 84% of the media coverage on Kamala Harris has been positive, yet 89% of Trump media coverage is negative. Surely people can put 1 and 1 together to make 2, or in my case 5, or maybe even 11 if I'm trying to be clever. But anyway, people have surely got to understand this. This has got to smell something awful, unlike my bolognese that I'm doing right now. This to me stinks of electoral interference. But who am I to judge? I'm just a man behind a camera. He called the Irish people racist. Yes, he did. Keir the Traitor Starmer declared war on the Irish people by calling them racist for them having their riots because nobody is listening to us. And you know what? I'm going to put this out there. I wonder if the police are going to come for disinformation. But if Keir the Traitor Starmer and the police came out with the identity of the attacker in Southport, I reckon a lot of these protests could have been avoided. Maybe not all of them, but a good number. Because at the end of the day, the police, if they really wanted to avoid dissent, if they really wanted to avoid disinformation, they would have put the killer's name out there regardless of age. And they would have done it regardless of religion as well. It shouldn't be based on the colour of your own skin whether or not you have your name straight away. Because I guarantee you, if we flip the script here and it was 3 Muslim children being stabbed by a white man, do you think they'd hesitate to put the fucker's name out? Ha! You'd be lucky if it stays suppressed for 30 seconds. But that, again, is something the mainstream media don't want to talk about. They want to blame Nigel Farage, the far right, and they want to blame Tommy Robinson for stoking the flames of the riots. No. There are 2 sets of people responsible for these riots, indubitably, unequivocally, undoubtedly. And it's why we see a lot of people have a lot of rancor for their government. The police and Keir the Traitor Starmer. They didn't have the balls, whether up here or down there, or in my case both, to be able to come out and say, this is the person that did it. And they were also the people, Keir the Traitor Starmer in particular, for projecting this onto concerned parents and patriots, calling them far right. If they'd just done their job and actually put out the identity of the attacker, and they didn't go out of their way to libelously slander the supposed far right, a lot of this shit would have even happened in the first place. But here's something else I do want to talk about that's very, very important. And it's revolving around Yvette Cooper and Lee Anderson. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to guess what I'm going to be talking about the moment I stop stirring this shit and actually start opening these cans. Because here's the thing, for my bolognese, I don't actually use tomatoes, I use this. And fuck me, I've never stopped using these cans since. Because it makes it fucking amazing, let me tell you. Oh man, I'm getting excited just thinking about it. Oh, I'd get even more excited if I get the can lids off. Anyway, I want to talk about Lee's letter to Yvette Cooper. And not tell us what the motive of standing is for. Yeah. Oh, and they don't want to say that's terrorism, but they want to say that extreme feminism is terrorism. And they want to say that if you protest about the tyrannical government, that's terrorism. Oh, fuck me, these are good. Anyway, the letter. Yvette Cooper has been challenged by Lee Anderson, asking her, Does she know whether or not those 1,000 people are guilty as charged? Because here's the thing. It is illegal to actually prejudice a case or to mention something which hasn't been verified, namely whether the people in these protests are innocent or guilty. It is illegal to do that. So rightly, Lee Anderson has come out and asked, do you know whether or not these 1,000 people that you claim to have arrested are actually guilty before the trial's even taken place? If not, then she is making a huge contempt of court charge for herself. Need I say more? And this is the point where I say, don't take my word for it. Look it up. Look up news about this letter. And quite frankly, it'll speak volumes. I actually forgot my spaghetti as well. Anyway, you just need to look the letter up. And then you'll see everything you need to know about this. Effectively, Yvette Cooper hasn't just shot herself in the foot, she's taken a fucking shotgun and blown her head off. Metaphorically speaking, of course. She has basically put herself in a whole world of trouble right now. And it doesn't seem like there's going to be anything she can do about it. I mean, let's face it. Again, let's get the script. Let's say it was 1,000 Muslims as part of the grooming gang, for the sakes of argument. And let's say Tommy Robinson came out and said they're all guilty before the trial had come out. How long do you think it would take the coppers to be all over him? 3 minutes? 60 seconds? 30 seconds? They'd be all over him like white on rice. But that could? No. Apparently not. Just a little water in here just to make sure there's enough sauce in here. I don't want to make it too watery because otherwise it's going to make the sauce shit. But the rest of the water's going in here for the spaghetti. I should just point out as well, I used for this, because I've actually still got it, I used half a case of these, the Keeling's mushrooms, closed cup, and I used 1 large onion for this, if anybody's wondering. Let that sit for about 10-15 minutes. I need to get my spaghetti out. What am I cooking? Spaghetti bolognese again. Sorry, I'm being a bit boring. I promise, maybe one time when I do this again, I'll have a different fucking recipe. I know how to do other stuff, I swear. But anyway, the point of all of this is that Yvette Cooper is unequivocally committing contempt of court by falsely identifying all 1,000 people that have been arrested in relation to these protests as guilty. Now, maybe you could say, let's be generous here. Let's say 50% of them are guilty. Doesn't change the fact the other 50% she's falsely labeling. What happens even if just 10% of them turn out to be innocent? She's still committing contempt of court because she wrongly assumed guilt. If anybody else doing that shit would instantly be in court right now, facing contempt of court. But this is something, of course, mainstream media don't want to tell you, because they know how damaging it would be to the globalist Marxist narrative. And one final thing I will talk about before I end this stream. Say it with me, it doesn't suit the narrative. Yeah, precisely. One last thing I want to talk about. The left-wing NPC protests. Isn't it funny how they're still going with the narrative of all the far-right protesters are being defeated by a huge rally of stand-up to racism NPCs, basically. No, we're just not attending. The joke is on the mainstream media. We're not attending because we know it's a trap, quite frankly. And anybody who has been listening to the news basically knows this. They know it for a fucking fact that the government, the media, the police, they're all in it together. They're trying to stitch up the supposed, and I'll have the quotes ready in a moment. That should be enough, I reckon. I should really try to do like measurements and all that, but I just grab what I think is necessary. Anyway, we know they're all in it against the far right. That's what it comes down to. But here's the thing. A lot of these people call us racist. The left wing and these NPCs call us far right and Nazi scum, which should be a slur in and of itself. And they say that we're fascists. Say, bash granny in the name of diversity. Very good. But a lot of these people, in a nutshell, they call us all these names. They call us racist. Where's their Union Jacks? Where are their fucking Union Jacks, folks? You go to a protest from these left-wing NPCs, you will not find one fucking Union Jack there. Weaponized words. You could be right on that, Night of the Round Fable. How are you doing today? But that's what it boils down to. They want to say we're racist. You won't find one Union Jack amongst them. You won't find a diverse number of people on their side, like you will us, people from all walks of life and religions. But you will see a pro-Palestine flag. You know, the Palestine people who want the genocide of Jews, the people who celebrated when innocent babies were being beheaded, when people were getting killed. And hello, Stephen Knight as well. Hope you're doing right today. But we didn't see any of that hit the media, that these fuckers are celebrating death of people. And these are people that the stand up to racism NPCs and hate not hope want to stand with. Begs the question, who are the real racists? And I'll give you 3 guesses to figure that one out. Anyway, that is enough for today. I did say I was going to be like 2 minutes. My food, I've got to get myself ready for my little live tonight on Twitch, which I'm under the same name if anybody wants to check me out. I'll be doing a co-op 7 Days to Die with Raven if she's still around. And if she's not around, I'll do a solo playthrough. I don't mind. But anything to take my mind off the real world, because after all, I can't just do politics all the bloody time. I have to keep my 2 cells from decay from all the brain rot that I'm getting from outside. Exactly, Paul. Hope not hate, stand up to racism. They're all the racists. They're the ones who protect. They're the ones who master Chinese art. Sorry, I mean the legendary art of projection. Because that's all they're good at. They have no arguments. When you try to go up to them with that important thing called facts, calling. And that's when you know you've already won the argument and they've eaten a massive L. But yeah, I've done enough for today. So thanks for watching, guys. I wish you all a good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. As said, I will be on Twitch after I've had my food, so probably around 5:30, 6 o'clock time. I'll thank you one last time for watching. And of course, I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye for now. I may even put a picture up here just to make sure that you see the base. But no promises. Catch you later.